You know, I don't think that's going to be a factor in the race. I think they do a great job, but I think one of the problems we have now is just the promoters are trying to make the tracks easier, so it's not just a Jeremy McGrath show. Honestly, I think the track is really easy and probably one of the worst ones I've ever ridden on.
Well, you heard it, the champion talking about the track too easy. And what they're trying to do is just make it easier for everyone. So the 125 guys and the new guys in Supercross have an opportunity. But for a guy like Jeremy McGrath, who's capable of a lot more, it's frustrating.
And as we see on our Suzuki starting grid, all the contenders ready to go for the 125 main event. Mike Brown really showed a lot of strength in the last couple of races, as well as the heat race earlier. Tim Ferry is back after the broken jaw, so that should be a good confrontation.
Sure, Pichon's kind of had things his way in this East Coast, and now Ferry's back in there to make it tough. You also got James Dobb, who's lined up all the way on the inside, number 16 right there on your screen.
A very short start at this track at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, so you've got to get a great jump. If you didn't qualify well and get a good gate position, you got to be content from coming from mid-pack, really.
Well, that's because probably you'll be lined up on the outside here. This start reminds me of the LA Coliseum. It's just a quick little left-hand jog, and the guys on the outside are going to have all the problems happening right into them.
That's why the contenders are matched up inside. It's Mike Brown with the hole shot. Oh, going off the track is Mike Catton, East Sparta, Ohio rider. He's still not sure where he is, I don't think.
Well, he took a good fall. He looks pretty dazed, and he's right next to those cement steps there. Lucky he didn't get hurt. As we look at our Honda track cam, riders filing through, pretty crowded in the back of this pad.
Pretty clean start with only one rider down is Mike Brown. Tim Ferry 23 in 101. Mikel Pichon. Pichon already the winner in the East Division 125s. But Tim Ferry wants to come back as we take another look at the start.
Just to the left of your screen on the Honda right there, Mike Catton jumps off the racetrack right onto a hay bale. Watch him tumble into those steps. A few feet farther, that could have been a serious injury right in the back.
Meanwhile, out in front is number 26 from Honda of Troy, Mike Brown. And then you see Ferry on the yellow bike, the Suzuki, with Pichon right behind him. So the stage is set really for a wonderful competition out front. James Dobb is actually in fourth, a little ways back of Pichon.
Well, it looks like all the fastest riders are occupying the top 4 positions right now. Look at Pichon jumping through that whoop section. Excellent rhythm.
A short, fast track here in Cleveland. We'll be back with the 125 main in a moment. This edition of Power Wheels on ESPN2 is brought to you by Honda, defending champions and holders of the past 7 consecutive Supercross titles. Honda, come ride with us. And Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for. And the financing to get it. We're back at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Marty Reed in the pits as we look at Tim Ferry and Mike Brown go at it. Mike Brown, Honda of Troy rider, basically was known as an outdoor rider, but has adjusted well this season to the Supercross, especially
that bounce the suspension, compress it more, and he got all that rebound and made an easy pass up the inside.
Our Honda jump cam looks more like a speed shot with the 125s. We'll see the 250s flying by that camera later. We saw Mike Brown, David, cut inside a hay bale there.
Well, it looks like, yeah, one of the hay bales. A lot of times they try to cut so tight they drag him out into the track. That caught Larocco off guard in the heat race in Charlotte, sent him to the ground.
Our Suzuki field summary shows us Brown, Ferry, and Dobb out in front. 125 action on this very short and quick track. Oh, look at that. It's Jeff Yenser. He fell right in front of Mike Brown. Brown was in midair when he went down. That was lucky it wasn't a worse accident.
And he's still in a blind spot. Right here, number 59 to the right of your screen, already out of control. No chance to save it. Watch him bounce. That could be a collarbone right there. Look at Mike Brown in the air, nowhere to go. Luckily, Yenser gets out of the way just in the nick of time. They're both lucky to escape an incident there.
So Mike Brown, still our leader, number 26, despite a hair-raising accident right in front of him off the finish line jump.
It doesn't seem to affect his rhythm much. And you see all those ruts right there as they enter that whoop section. You got to get in those ruts perfect or it'll mess up your rhythm all the way through that whoop section.
Already Brown has clicked off another lap. He started the season with a 5th in Orlando, got another 5th in Atlanta, but a 9th and 8th, and then a press day injury. He was performing in front of the press, went down hard, and missed 2 races, but has come back with some great performances. Here's Tim Ferry really the only rider right now with a chance at challenging Mike Brown in second place.
And right there, Greg Rand off your screen had crashed on that triple right there as Ferry came by. Ferry has got a pretty good lead over the third place rider, but he hasn't been able to close on Mike Brown. Mike Brown riding a lot better than I've seen him ride in the past. A lot of confidence after picking up his first win.
Mike Brown is ripping it off, and let's check the Honda stopwatch for the interval to see what the distance is between first and second place. 4.2 seconds. Ferry is back, but with all those lappers out there and the ruts, most anything can happen.
You can see how far it is back to the third place rider. Here he comes right here, Davey Jezik, number 37.
17.5 seconds. And Pichon, 21 seconds back.
And that's a lot of time, Art. Pichon hasn't gained any time. If anything, he's lost time. And I'm going to assume, because this track is shorter, that the lap times are going to be somewhere under 50 seconds. So that 21 seconds, it's nearly a half a lap.
We'll keep the Honda stopwatch running to see just how fast the lap time is with Mike Brown. Brown just entering the whoops now. We'll check the stopwatch in about 47 seconds. They had 47.6 there as he goes over the finish line jump. That's a quick one.
That's pretty quick. I think Brown's doing a little quicker than everyone else. Still riding with a lot of confidence. Right there, look at James Dobb. He's got company from Pichon, so Pichon is making up time. Look at Pichon jumping through this whoop section. So much smoother through there. You don't have to hit all those bumps. He's only touching 4 or 5 times through there, and if you can do that every lap, you save a lot of energy.
The Englishman using all the track and also using some lappers right now to stay in front of the Frenchman. Dobb had gone into the season with high expectations, got a couple of fourth-place finishes in the first 3 races, but then injury problems and inconsistency after that have really taken the wind out of his sails. Here's Pichon. He triples over Dobb into 4th place. Pichon's next sights, they're set on Jezik.
You know, I don't understand why Dobb didn't jump that triple. Already had a perfect run at it. He was lined up straight and nobody in his way. Possibly just a lot of ruts in the face of that jump, something we can't see from here.
Our Suzuki Field summary: Brown, Ferry, Jezik the leaders. You pick out your favorite rider. Back in Cleveland, the final moments of the 125 main, and Mike Brown, who does a little slide there but controlled, has Tim Ferry making up some time now. About 2 or 3 seconds in back of the leader. Tim Ferry's trying to put on a last-second challenge.
Well, it's working. As you can see, a little mistake there by Brown when we first came back. He went over the berm, and that's the only thing you can do on a track this tight, is just to try to keep pressure on the leader, force him into a mistake, and then go by.
Ferry has 2 wins on the year and 2 second places before getting injured with the broken jaw and having to sit out several races, taking him out of the points race. But he's looking for his 3rd win. Mike Brown looking for his 2nd win on the season. And it's coming down to the last lap here in the 125 main.
Well, it's just between these two. I think they got enough of a lead on Jezik. They could probably drop it, pick it up, and still hang on to their spot. Right now, Ferry even a little closer than he was that last lap, really keeping the pressure on Mike Brown.
He's been mistake-free so far, and Ferry, he's putting on the heat. Ferry, a hard hit coming off the jump.
Well, he's trying to set himself up wide for this section right here and just take another line. You saw him jump way to the outside. Watch him double through here. He's got a different rhythm than Brown. He's just trying to do something different, make Brown nervous. It's working.
Brown gets by the lapper. Time running out for Tim Ferry.
Oh, look at these lappers. This is a situation where Brown's got to be on his toes. Luckily for him, the finish line is coming up quick.
The checkered flag for Mike Brown, his 2nd Supercross win of the year, and he secures 2nd place in the point standings, just in front of number 37, Davey Jezik, who placed 3rd in today's race. Tim Ferry, the 2nd place finisher, gave it all he had, David.
Look at Eric Kehoe right there. Looks pretty happy. He's with Honda of Troy, and Honda of Troy's got to be happy with this kid Mike Brown. He's coming on strong late in the season.
The 3rd podium performance for the year for Davey Jezik, who would have had a better chance of nailing down 2nd place in the points had he qualified in Houston. He failed to qualify there, and that took him out of the running for 2nd, really. Not only a win for Mike Brown, but a strong ride as he held off Ferry on that last lap charge by Tim to take the victory.